Good morning. There's an airplane, probably going to spray some corn. Anyway, I made it back from Chillicothe last night around 10. Thanks again to Brian for letting me stop out and showing me around. It was a good time, enjoyed it, and now we're back up, home from my meetings. We gotta go up to our irrigation field, see how dry it is, and likely turn on the water. Let's go head up north to the field and see what it looks like. It's a really nice day. For the most part, everything around here looks really good that I've seen so far, but it is amazing how much stuff can change in just a couple of days. You know, it was Thursday morning when I left. I haven't seen stuff for 2 days, and yeah, things can change. Let's go look. We're going to go look at the field before we start this up, but I'm going to fire the generator up, let it warm up a little bit. You can see our tires are super wet. We've got a heavy dew this morning. Yeah, I mean, heavy dew is what it is. It's a little bit of moisture, which is good, but it's creating leaf wetness on our corn, which is a recipe for disease pressure. So fortunately, this field has been sprayed, so we're mitigating that a little bit, but if you look at that, oh, can you guys see it? Does it show up on camera? How shiny and wet that leaf is? All these leaves. That's how you get disease. Alright, we'll let that warm up. We'll go out and check on our reel and the gun and what the ground looks like out there. It is definitely drier here now than it has been for quite a while. Ooh, look at the weeds in this path. This is the only one I wasn't able to spray because there's pipe laying in it. But just looking at the base of the corn plants, we don't have any moisture on top of the surface. Now it's not dry. There's still moisture under the surface, and those roots are finding it. They're getting down in deep into the ground, soil profile. They're finding lots of moisture, which is good. But once we kind of dry off on top, for the way that we're irrigating, which if you're new, we have a hard hose traveling gun. So we've got this giant reel. There's a 4-inch hose, goes all the way out 1/4 mile, and then there's a big sprinkler gun on the end down there that moves back and forth and waters our corn. This drum turns really slowly and kind of winds it up and pulls it back in. It takes about 10 hours to do a 1/4 mile run, and it puts our water on that way. Point being, by the time it starts to get dry, where the surface of our ground is not wet at all, especially in the mornings, then it's time to start watering, because I can't cover this whole field in 2 days. It takes me a week, and so we need to stay ahead of it. So we are going to start it up here and keep feeding this corn, keep watering it. It's beautiful. We have tremendous corn right here, and so we're not giving up on it now by any means, and hopefully it'll rain again in a couple of days. There's a chance, but we're gonna put some water on today. I think we got a wheel bearing going out on the gator, getting awfully squeaky. We're gonna have to look into that real quick. We also need to bring our mower back up here and mow our lanes and paths a little bit again, because these weeds are getting tall again. All right, we have not pumped any water for over 2 weeks now. So first thing I'm gonna do is walk down here, and we're gonna pull our river screen up, just check, see what it looks like. It should be fine. But yeah, see, we get a little grass accumulating on the pipe there. It's heavy because there's water in it. So let me lift it up. Well, it doesn't look too bad down there. Just shake it off a little bit. Put it back down. Should be good. The water's running super clear. After when it rains, this gets a little bit murky and muddy, and then once we kind of get back to normal flow, where it's all groundwater flowing through the river here, it runs really clear. Next, we have to run our vacuum pump through suck the air out of the pipe, so it's drawing water up from the river, filling our suction pipe all the way up to the pump here. And this electric one is a whole lot nicer than a hand pump primer. And then we push go. It's our generator snort. And now we got to fill this pipe. It's all drained out because we haven't run it for so long. The seals all leak when there's no pressure in it. Everything pressurizes and then it seals up good. So we're going to jump in the gator. We're going to go that way to where the gun's shooting and watch it from down there. Oh, one more thing. Our Farm HQ boxes have been on this whole time. They are running. They've never shut off. And we should get good updates from that here in a little bit. We will check it, but we've got power. We've got GPS on this one. I checked the one on the reel, and those seem to be working just like they're supposed to, and they are awesome. I guess that one on the pump did shut off because it's getting power from the generator, so when I shut the generator off, it goes off. But when we started the generator up, it turned back on and was up and running and had GPS signal by the time we started the pump up. So it's all working. The one on the reel, the battery power, it never shut down. So we're in our back path now. I'll show you when we get up to one of the lanes here, right here. That lane goes back, and can you see the silver pipe way down there? That's where the middle is. And then the lane goes all the way out to the road. 2 lanes up here is where our gun is setting, where the water's gonna start spraying, but it hasn't made it down here yet. Dangerous game of chicken with the irrigation gun, because there's water coming. Fortunately, it's pointed away from me, so we can sit here until it starts spraying. Just looking at our corn a little bit while we're waiting here. One thing, you'll see all of this brown in our midrib. That's not actually disease. That's from all the pollen that fell and got on the leaves, and now it's sitting there and it's rotting, basically. And it stains and discolors stuff. You'll also notice that a lot of times inside these leaf collars and sheaths down in here, you'll get pollen that it just kind of molds and rots and stains everything, but it's not actually hurting the plant. It's not a disease that's attacking the leaf tissue or anything like that, so we don't worry about it. Right here, we've got some insect damage, some sort of leaf miner that scrapes the chlorophyll off and just scrapes a layer off, but not actually eating through the leaf. Nope, that black spot rubbed off. We did spray fungicide on here and insecticide, so the corn should be plenty healthy and not too much insects. There we got a hole in a leaf from some insect damage. We do see some stuff like this occasionally. I don't think that's disease. I think that's either what I'm going to call mechanical damage, but wind whipping, or it gets twisted up or something, or I don't think it's actually disease, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Now some of this, maybe. I don't really know. That looks, that little brownish spot could be some gray leaf spot. I don't know. But we sprayed fungicide on it a week and a half ago, so for the most part, anything that was growing should be not anymore. Oh, I'm starting to hear water, I think. There it is. I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. So the pressure will build as we keep pumping the air out. It's probably been 5 minutes since we turned the pump on. That took that long to fill up our center pipe. The black hose here should still have water in it because it can't really drain out. There's nowhere for it to go. Well, we'll watch this here as it pressurizes, and then we'll get the heck out of here before it starts spraying us. I'm surprised. Usually it comes up to pressure quicker than that. It's alright, we'll water this corn on these ends here real good. There, alright. Starting to make the flapper work. Still don't have any pressure on our pressure gauge. You can see already we're going to nail the tassels on this corn. There's not really much pollen left, so that's not really going to hurt anything, and it gets up above it pretty quickly. There, we're coming up to pressure. Where are we going to end up? 72. Around 70 to 72 psi at the gun here. So that is that's what it does. And then that flapper hits and it moves it just a little bit, and it does half circles or a little more than half circles, shooting that water down there. Oh, that water smells terrible. It's been sitting in that pipe. Oh, yuck. Get out of here. Okay, I think I'm far enough away from it where it isn't going to hit me. Nope, that's not far enough. Nope. There we go. Oh. Once it gets up, yeah, now it's coming back at us. And there's where it fell. So it just keeps working back and forth, and then as the hose winds it in, it slowly pulls it back in. I've gotten a question a lot of times of, can we put fungicide on through our irrigation? The guys with pivots do that a lot, but part of being able to do that is turning your water down as low as possible, so you're only putting on 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rain with that pass with the fungicide in it. I could inject fungicide into this. The problem is I can't turn the water down, right? I can speed it up, but it's not turning it down. And so when that stream of water is hitting its particular spot, we're drenching these plants. I mean, you can already see the water dripping off of these just from one little pass there. And look at what it's doing. Funneling it right down to the roots and feeding it. But all that's running off of the plant. We're not actually getting stuff to stick to the leaves very much like you want with fungicide and doing it through a pivot. So that's why we don't do it that way and we use a plane, because our setup for irrigation just not conducive to that. All right, so we're back at our pump over here. We do have a little bit of fertilizer left in this tank here. So usually I don't worry about putting fertilizer on after pollination or after the corn tassels, because most of our demand is earlier in the season. Now it's still using nitrogen and sulfur and everything else, but the demand really drops off. We've got this much left. We're going to use it up. We'll put most of it on this run right where we're doing it now. The spot that we're irrigating is part of my corn grower's entry, so I want to feed it and push it as much as possible anyway. But we are not going to get more fertilizer. We've already put 2 applications of fertilizer on this entire field, and so we're just going to use this stuff up and then just pump water for the rest of the summer if that's what we need to do. Now we're back at the Traveler base. Got 138 psi here, it looks like. Everything is good. So we've got to start it up and start it reeling in. We use a little Honda motor for that. So 2 poles. Always takes 2 poles. I think we got it right. So fun. All right. So what that does is spin some pulleys and a gearbox in there that then turns the drum, but we don't have the gearbox engaged. We need to get our speed set right. We'll pull this arm up, and that is for a speed compensation. So as this winds layers up, it gets farther and farther from the center. So the same RPMs is going to make it retract faster if you don't slow it down. And so this arm rides on that hose, and as it pushes out, it pushes down on that arm. And then there's a cable that goes over to the pulleys that are back in there, and it slows the speed down. So we set it now, so there's a speedometer right here. We want 24 to 25 inches per minute. That's what that is. So we're pretty darn close. We're gonna leave it right there. There's our Farm HQ box running, and we hit engage. And so now this starts turning real slowly. We'll look at our hose over here. It has markings on it to tell how far we have pulled it out. 1,218 feet. Takes just over 10 hours. That 18 feet extra is a little over 10 hours. So that's how it works. We'll come back in 10 hours. What time is it? 9 o'clock, so 7 tonight. But when I talked to Dad this morning, he asked me to get the 8430 out and hook it up to one of our scrapers for him. Apparently I took too long at the irrigation field because he's doing it himself. We'll go help him out here. This is the one job where we're going to miss the 8300 that we sold this spring. This is what he used it for. Was running this little medium Ashland scraper that we've got. And he won't use the 8R because of the IVT in it, so he's going to use the 8430. And it's a good tractor. It'll be fine. It's more tractor than we need on it, but yeah. He's got a waterway he's going to put in. Let's see if I can hold this up so he can get it. Okay, hold on. Well, I think it'll be okay, but we can't have any thicker of a drawbar. Alright, he's going to go do just a little bit with this scraper. We've got my sisters in town for the weekend. Cousins riding with Grandpa. Whoa, look at that beautiful tractor. Nice. Alright, well, I've been working on a few other little things. Odds and ends. But we're going to jump into 4440 and take the mower up and do some mowing up there in the irrigation field in the lanes, and or not the lanes, but the path there that I showed you this morning, and the lane along the river on the other, where we ride back to get to the crossing and some of that stuff, so that we can knock those weeds down, and yeah, it'll be easier to get across stuff up there with the gator. Corn looks different up here in the heat of the day. This is where all that coon damage was that we looked at last week, or earlier in the week, I guess. But it's rolling a little bit here on this edge. Now we're clearing the point where we don't get any water. It's not irrigated back here. But yeah, this corn's starting to stress. Good thing we started it up. We're gonna keep pumping. Okay, that's what I needed to do. So we're done with this mower. We don't fit down the center path anymore because well, there's pipe and the corn's growing back and out a little bit, but we're gonna fold her up and head out back to the farm. Okay, I decided to do the road sites while I'm here. I mean, I'm here, so might as well make it look good. Looks like they're piling some more chicken litter for us. This is going into a little bit bean stubble, but they're piling it in the beans. Because, well, they don't have truck drivers, so they can't haul it as fast as they can spread it, and so they're piling it now. Losing a few beans. It's alright. It'll be okay. Ah! I came down to see if they were baling straw. They are indeed out baling straw. Let's go check it out. I should have brought the drone. We could have made a video on this. Maybe I'll go get it. Alright. We had to fix an oil leak, so I've been here just hanging out helping them fix an oil leak on the tractor, but now we're gonna watch them bale a little bit. I fully intend to, maybe I should go get the drone now. I fully intend to make a video of watching them do straw, and now might be a good time to do it. What time is it? 4:30. So they run this bale bearing, which is a pretty cool deal. Turning small squares into big squares. Makes those big bundles. They'll come out here then with a skid steer or something and load all these bundles onto semi-trailers and haul them back to their barn. We do not do this baling. Neighbor friend of mine does it. He bought our straw equipment from us probably 15 years ago and has done all the baling ever since. They run older tractors, but their equipment is really nice. Nice balers, nice bearing there, other stuff they've got. It's really nice. They do a heck of a job. All right, here's the deal. I went back and got the drone. We're gonna take some straw baling footage, but it's not gonna make it into this video. We're gonna save it for tomorrow so that I have a video for tomorrow, because I'm not making another one. And then we're gonna take the drone up and go take some footage of the irrigation stuff. And we'll put that in today's. This baling straw stuff is like work. They're having some issues with the bearing now, and the knotter's not working, so I've been helping them with that for a little while. I didn't get any drone footage of the bearing running because they were down the whole time I had it in the air. I think they got it going now. I'll try and grab a little GoPro footage. And it's 6:15. We're gonna have to go move our traveler pretty quick. Dang, somebody did a nice job mowing these roadsides. We're heading back to the irrigation here. We've got, I don't know, 20 minutes I think or so before it's gonna be done. But I brought the drone. We'll fly a little bit here when it's done, get her spun around, and then I got to do some math, figure out when I want to start it. I might wait until the morning to fire it up because it's going to be a short pull. It'll be done in the middle of the night. I don't really want to do that. Turns out you can fly drones under irrigation water and they don't crash. I also almost went down into the corn when I meant to go up and not into the corn, but we made it. So Okay, we got it all set up, pulled out for the next run. It's 690 feet, which is just under 6 hours. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to start it up now because it'll be done at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not going to be here at 1 o'clock in the morning. Not going to do it. Nope. So we're going to go shut the generator off. We're going to come back tomorrow morning, start this one up. It's a short run, and then we'll start the next one. Is also a short run tomorrow afternoon. They should get done with both of those by the evening. So tomorrow night, we can make a full run overnight tomorrow. So that's how we're going to do it. All right, guys. I'm going home. It's after 8 o'clock. So thanks for watching today. I wasn't really planning on working and making a video today, but that's what we did because, well, I had nothing else to do. So I'm going home. I'm going to keep the water moving tomorrow, but that's about it. I will do my best to put out a video of the straw stuff, the drone footage and the GoPro footage that I got from that today, because it's not in this video, obviously. So we'll see if I can work on that, maybe get a little bit more footage on that stuff. But anyway, yeah, we'll see you again on Monday or tomorrow with that, and have a great night. Good rest of your weekend. I'm going to go home and wait for my family to get home. They left for Cleveland when I left for Columbus and are coming home any minute. So I am excited to see my boys and my daughter and my wife and all of them. It's been 3 days. See you, everybody.